What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hold Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight. I got my man, Jay Babo in the dinner. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Ready for these holidays here, man. Took that L in fantasy football here, but hey, back at it next year. But want to quickly remind you, you can catch us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Hold Husband Podcast. And for those looking to promote your business, looking for shout outs, you can shoot us a DM at Hold Husband Podcast as well as shoot us an email at holdhusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I also got my co-host SD in the building. What's good, man?
Nothing, man. Chilling, man. Excited about this here episode. But first, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Production for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold a Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I'd like to remind everybody that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the core94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Santa's a Hater. And we wanted to have a conversation about how the holiday season seems to have a negative impact on couples and families. So we're going to take a dive in some of the things that come up or some of the common issues that create conflicts around this time of the year. But y'all know how we do it around here. Now, we like to discuss stuff that we've seen on our timeline or things that have been trending. And so this first video was a clip that I had came across of a reality show, I believe it's Real Housewives of Atlanta, where one of the women was talking about why her husband fell in love with her. And let's take a look and the conversation to be self-explanatory.
Marcel, he always tells me that the reason he fell in love with me is because he's like, you're an 8.5 at everything. Libby, what shoes are you wearing today, baby? You want your Crocs today? Yeah. He's like, you're not a 10 in looks. You're not a 10 as an athlete. You're not a 10 in brains. He's like, but you are a solid 8.5 at everything you do. And he's like, not a lot of people could say that.
Now, when I saw the video, or how I interpreted it, to me, that's saying that you are well above average in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not just slightly above average. You're almost perfect. That's it. For a realistic guy, that's about the best you can expect from a woman. So I can totally understand him feeling like that. I have very similar thoughts towards my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're going through your checklist of what you look for in a woman, you're not going to get nobody that's a 10 out of 10 in everything. But a lot of the women in the comments have that expectation of their man where he views them as everything is perfect about them. You're beautiful. You're like, stop it. You got on weave, lashes, makeup, all the things that, why would you do that if you was already perfect? Like, I just don't understand the logic behind it. So it just shows me how delusional a lot of women really are.
Man, ain't no logic behind it. It's all feelings. If he don't tell you a 10, he's not worthy of you. I looked at the comments too, and it's amazing how many 4s are upset. How you upset and you a 4 and yourself? He just this. He ain't nothing but a 6 himself. How dare him? She should leave him alone. Or I can't believe you married him. 8.5 is a bad thing. This is the product. This is the product of social media. Social media has so many average and below average looking women out here thinking that they should be called 10s just because they got titties. And that is the problem. What's going on out here right now?
SD, I just want to piggyback that up real quick. Like the same women that you say you see all these 4s commenting, those same women think they're a 10. Why do they think they're a 10? All the dudes in their DMs, all the good morning, beautiful texts. That's why. But, this just shows a great point here. I say this all the time. Listen, none of us are going to be perfect at everything or sufficient at everything. But at the same time, you can't be average in everything as well. So like I said, that's an 8 in every, an 8. So that's above average, well above average. I mean, it's about as close as perfect as you're going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I guess you're right, LB. It's feelings based. because it makes no sense whatsoever. Because these women do so much to enhance their beauty. How can you enhance something that's perfect? How can you enhance a 10, right?
Mhm.
So it represents the problematic mentality or the perception. Like, you lack self-awareness if you honestly feel like you are perfect and everybody, the man that you with is supposed to love everything about you and feel that you do everything perfect.
Yeah.
It
Why
ain't
would a
even the
man
man that
sign
they
up for
love.
that?
It ain't even the
Why
man
would a
that they
guy
love.
sign up for that though?
I mean, the guys, man, these dudes will do anything out here. But think about it. How did Kevin Samuels become popular? By telling a woman she was average at best. When the woman said she was a 10 or something or whatever
No,
she
no,
said.
no. This is what she said. She said, I think she said she's a 4 without makeup and like a 5 with makeup or a 6 or something like that. I don't remember
Okay.
the exact, but she said she was. But basically, she called herself average, and he said, "Well,
Average.
you're average at best."
At best, yes. And guess who got mad? All the other women. Even though this woman was below average in her looks. Like, come on, like, let's be real. Like, the woman was not cute at all. So if she dolled herself up, she might have been a 5. That's the majority of people out here are just average looking people. I mean, 75% of women are obese or overweight, with like 35-40% being obese. So you can talk all this stuff all you want while you go and put somebody else's hair on your head, while you put on 40 pounds of makeup, while you put a filter on every single picture. You are not a dime. Take all that off and then show me who you are for you to be mad at somebody calling a wife an 8.5. That's great. I'll take an 8.5. Trust me. I'll take an 8.5. Especially an 8.5 and everything. Your cooking an 8.5, your looks 8.5, your neck 8.5, your sex 8.5, your toes 8.5. I will take 8.5 all day over a woman that's a 4 in her body, but she's an 8, 9, or 10 in cooking. Sorry, ma'am, it's not gonna happen. Give me the 8.5 all day. Some of y'all are delusional out here,
and that's hard to. And honestly, that's hard to find. I don't even think that's not easy to find. Like in all those categories, that's hard to find, bro.
It's unusual, you know what I'm saying? It's unusual to find somebody this well-rounded and above average in everything. But this is the problem with reality TV and social media, where it highlights the unrealistic expectations that a lot of women have. Now, in the clip, I don't watch reality TV, so I interpreted, or based off the comments, I thought the woman in the video was complaining about her man only viewing her as an 8.5. But apparently the women in the comments corrected me and said, no, she was actually, she took it as a compliment. But
as she should.
As she should. You know what I'm saying? But the amount of women in the comments or the reaction to it is like, men aren't allowed to have to feel women are less than perfect. And they know for a fact they're not perfect, bro. That's just...
But it's funny. Women say all the time, "Hey, why don't you just keep it real with me, right?" But then you keep it real. They don't want to hear that. So, which way do you want to hear?
No. They want you to keep it real-ish, as long as it's what they want to hear. If it ain't what they want to hear, they want you to lie. Tell them that they dimes. Yes, they don't want you to keep it real with them, man. You got to understand women. You tell them the truth, they got a problem with that. If you're lying, they find out you're lying, they got a problem with that too. Man, that's why men be out here confused. Like, you know what? I'm just not gonna say nothing.
And that's why the pandering business is booming right now.
That's their problem.
It's always gonna be booming. But see, it annoys me when women ask stuff like that. Like, ask what do you think of me, babe? How would you rate me? Like, they're kind of fishing for compliments. Because I remember we talked about it before, where I had put up a poll about a scenario, a made up scenario, where the woman asked the guy what's he about a 1 out of 10, and he said like a 6, but you can put on some makeup and enhance yourself. Women had a major problem with that, and it's like, well, you don't have to be a perfect 10 to have a judgment on someone else.
Huh?
And there's nothing wrong with saying that somebody is average and can become better
But
looking with makeup.
that's the reason they put makeup on in the first place. So,
You would think so, right?
And your looks don't matter because even if you tell them that they not 10s, or you tell them something, they gonna swear up and down you gay and you hate women. That's gonna be next. That's gonna be next. It's gonna be an insult, or it's gonna be some shame towards you or not telling them that they are perfect. Anytime you speak on something and it don't paint women in a perfect light, it shows out their errors or points them out or whatever. They swear you gay, they swear you sassy, they swear you don't like women, you're a basher or you hate them. Like, this is a common thing and women know it. So, man, I ain't with all this. That's why pandering is such a lucrative business, because it plays to the feelings of the women to make them feel like they're perfect. And anybody that don't play to them feelings to make them feel like they're perfect must hate women. And he has to be sassy in the process. So,
right.
wow.
All right, man. Let's keep things rolling, man. This next topic is a little bit more related to what guys deal with. I came across the podcast where a lady was talking about working in a kitchen full of men, and being able to observe how men communicate and deal with things. Let's take a listen.
Okay, so I work in a kitchen filled with men, right?
For sure.
And I'm the only female chef in there.
Yeah.
So I get to observe how men communicate.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Now we unpacking.
It's interesting. And what I noticed about your build is that you have the capacity to work and suffer at the same time.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Women don't.
Okay, so when you say work and suffer, elaborate. What does that mean?
You could be physically or emotionally or mentally defeated,
Drained,
but you're still
tired,
going to
yes.
go to work, and you can still, like, you have the physical capacity to execute whatever it is that you need to do.
That's in relationships too. Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
That's in relationships. Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
not just work. It's not.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not just occupation.
I agree.
Okay.
Men suffer in silence often. Yeah, because our existence is based on what we can provide to you.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what was said. You're taught as a boy growing up, you're taught that crying and making a scene and all that is really unproductive. It doesn't fix the situation you in. It doesn't fix your problem. And in a lot of situations, it makes things worse. Having an emotional reaction, not being able to be calm and think through situations. But as a counter to that, you have to be able to compartmentalize as a guy. I really, it's even hard for me to be able to, when we talk about women being emotional and all that, I can't imagine not being able to put my emotions in check, or being able to check myself when I can tell that my emotions are out of control, or I'm making an emotional decision.
Yeah, as men, we got to be able to be like that, because if we're not under control, even when we mad and able to go do our jobs and be effective and just, hey man, let it roll off you or deal with it later, whatever the case, man, we gonna wind up in jail or in a cemetery. That's just the way it goes, because men have natural aggression, testosterone, and power and strength. So as a man, you have to learn at an early age how to compartmentalize these things and control your emotions and direct that energy and that aggression into something more productive. Because if you don't, as a young man, you're gonna get out of control. You're gonna get out of control, and you're gonna do something that's gonna wind you up in one of those two places. So she's absolutely right. And men suffer in silence in a lot of relationships because we do the same thing. That's why dudes say in relationships too. A lot of men, I know plenty of men that just don't say anything within a relationship because they don't want to deal with the mouth or the issues that's going to come with saying something to their wife about it.
Creates a bigger problem.
Yeah, so most men just be quiet. That's why men rarely file for divorce. These here dudes don't be completely happy in these relationships. These here women pretend like they are, but these dudes don't be completely happy in these relationships. These dudes,
but they gotta weigh the pros and the cons.
Yeah,
I mean, but a realistic expectation is there are gonna be things you're unhappy about. But you also have to compare that to if you're single, if you do get divorced and you meet a new chick, she's gonna have stuff that you have problems with. Meet another chick, she's gonna have stuff you have problems with. So, from a big picture perspective, your original marriage might not have been worth divorcing. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think a lot of women really look at it like that. What was you about to add, Jay?
Absolutely. No, I was just saying, it's very common amongst men and speaks to what the common man does. He's able to compartmentalize his feelings.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, I got tied up there. But he's able to put his emotions aside, you know, whether it's his job, like you said, even in his relationships. Because if a man makes emotional decisions that really spills into other parts of his life, you know, think about it. If he makes emotional decisions, it'll spill into his finances. And like SD said, he can end up dead or in jail. Think about how many men have made emotional decisions that got them in jail, like, you know, kill another man over a woman. That's an emotional decision that a man made.
Yeah, I think, you know, I guess a lot of your upbringing has a lot to do with that. Because I grew up in a you know, environment where it was a lot of violence and a lot of fighting at school and stuff like that. And so I didn't have no I didn't have no older brother. I didn't have nobody that I could run to or whatnot. So I had to navigate my neighborhood or whatnot without creating unnecessary conflicts or unnecessary situations. And a lot of that is being able to control your emotions and think before you actually respond to something.
How was you able to navigate that? Did that just come natural to you, or did you watch, you know, somebody, a male
survival?
Gotcha.
Survival.
That was wondering.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't have. I remember a lot of kids. I'm gonna go get my brother. Oh, go get my cousin. Oh, do this. You know what I'm saying? Like you about to beat their ass, they got a backup plan or they got a plan B. I didn't have that, so I had to. If I do get in a confrontation, it had to be a logical situation, something that I wasn't gonna, you know, just totally get myself fucked over in. But it was a survival thing. And then growing up, I was younger than a lot of my classmates because I had been bumped up a grade. So I was like when I graduated, I was the youngest person in my class. Like when I went to the military, I was the youngest person in my unit. So I was always around older guys and whatnot. And so I just had to adjust.
Yeah, you know what? And she was surprised. Listen to her. She was surprised at how men are able to do that, because she knows that most women, they're gonna be at work crying. They're gonna be all upset and gonna have to go home, man, if they and be cramping and throwing up and all types of stuff, because they're overly emotional like that. A lot of women, so she don't understand men. Try to understand men.
Think about. I'll just give a quick example. Another way that men can compartmentalize their feelings, right? Think about, you know, boxing, you know, UFC, even football, right? These are violent sports. These men can hit each other and still be friends at the end of it, right? Because there's no emotion. They don't hate the person that they got into the ring with. It's just competition.
Yeah, as long as there's the respect outside the ring. There, right? Yeah, you're right. I think guys been able to compartmentalize, like you just said. That I think that's why a lot of male friendships can last a lot longer than female ones. That I see, because I can't even think of no conflict that me and my best friend have ever really had. You know what I'm saying? Like most guys, if they really respect you and rock with you, it's hard to come up with a conflict. Majority of the conflict is women, you know what I'm saying, or chicks. And we never, you know, we was thoughts, so we would never.
You know, but it's always the flip side to that. There's always the other end of the spectrum. You know, like the video we covered a couple of weeks ago. I think they were frat brothers where when he pulled us aside, he's like, "Hey, I'm here. You doing all this behind a woman." So there's also the flip side of that as well.
Yeah, of course. Most dudes beef over chicks. Like,
Yeah.
we don't beef over you didn't come to my birthday dinner, and so now we ain't talking. Like, men ain't
You got
doing
the
that
cheeks that I did.
nonsense. Yeah, like whatever. Dudes don't be having no birthday dinner and all
Yeah,
this
I'm
here
about
No,
to
they
say
don't.
nonsense.
No,
most
they
guys
don't.
don't even do all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, we don't post each other for our birthday on social media. Man, who does that? Like, it's the type of stuff. And women will lose. Women will lose lifelong friendships over stuff like that. Emotional, like they can't compartmentalize and even rationalize certain things and say, man, you know what? Not all of them, of course, but some of them I'm talking about. We ain't putting everyone in a box, but to just say, hey, I guess she wasn't able to make it. Let me see why she wasn't able to make it or whatever, and we can talk it out and have it, you know what I'm saying? Just to talk about it or whatever. No, it's off the cliff a lot of times.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't come to my dinner, forget you. If your kids need something, don't ever call me no more, ho.
Yep.
And it's like, man.
SB, there was just a viral video about young lady. She invited 15 people to a birthday dinner, and only 3 showed up. And she had posted, "Oh, now I know who my real friends are. This, that, and the
Yeah.
third."
See?
I was like, "Wow."
Yeah,
See?
that's how they view it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I guess you gotta know your people. I'm glad my wife ain't a over the top birthday person. Her birthday was just last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't actually able to party with her. I was having some issues with my back, so I was at the crib all weekend, soaking in the spa. But I financed it. I financed the weekend, so I did my husband duty.
Well, you got to get you a hover round or something. You got to get you one of them hover rounds, man, when you be rolling in that sucker. Put some rims on it or something so you can go out and party with your lady, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to put our money together for, man. Get Terry a hover round for this back of his, man. You know
But
what
yeah,
I
but see,
mean?
I'm glad my wife don't have emotional rants and stuff over stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like some women would have made a big deal out of it.
Why your
'Cause
husband ain't here?
yeah, you know. So ladies and fellas, emotional control is always a good thing. And fellas, use discretion when expressing your feelings to women because they often will be used against you at the most opportune time. We are up against the clock, so we're about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into tonight's topic, Santa's a hater, where we're talking about some of the problems and the issues that come up around holiday time that impact relationships and families. Y'all are tuned into the Hold a Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Santa's a Hater. And we are talking about the holiday season and how that seems to create conflict and negativity among relationships and families. I think overall, I think the biggest reason or the most logical reason why there's so many conflicts and things that come up around this time of the year is because of the financial pressure that is placed on people around this time of the year. We know the crime rates go up. People do desperate things, robbing, kicking in houses and all these type of things, because there's this pressure to be able to, you're judged by what you can do for, what you can provide for others around this time of year. And that rears its head, when people that are dating, where they're experiencing their first, couple holiday seasons together. So I just, never fails, man. Somebody's gonna be complaining about what they did or didn't get on the internet, and that's just kind of the side effect of the holiday.
Yeah, you got to be smart, man, around these here times because
Yep.
a lot of people go into extreme debt, getting things for the holidays, running up them credit cards, and they spend the whole year paying it off just to do it again back in the next December.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. That's why you got to have your priorities together. Really, that's what it's about. I had this conversation with my son last year. Just not his finances ain't all the way there. He's a young man. He's struggling, with his money, that type of thing. But he wanted to go and buy all these here family members with the little money he did have, Christmas presents. And I'm like, dude, you don't have Christmas present money right now. They'll understand. You have to prioritize the things that you need to prioritize. Your car insurance, your gas to get to and from, not somebody's Jordans that you want to buy them. You can't be like that. As a man, you have to make tough decisions. Sometimes those tough decisions require you to be like, okay, I can't do this even though I want to because I need to do this. This is a need. This is a want. These people are just going to have to understand it and stand on that as a man. They'll respect that more.
That'll be all right.
Then you having to come to them right after Christmas and ask for $200 or $300 because you just bought them some Jordans. Why did you buy me them shoes? That's what a stand-up dude to say. A stand-up dude to say, why would you buy me that and now you broke 2 weeks later? You should have kept your money. So
yeah, that's. But you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of people don't really think like that. They just go take the Jordans and keep it pushing, and not even care that okay, he got the Jordans, but he's in debt. Credit card debt or his money low. They're not even thinking like that a lot of times. But I think the holidays, it puts unnecessary stress on because everybody wants to live up to something. They want to make sure they got, I guess, the best gift, for lack of a better description, the most expensive gift, extravagant gift. So it's unnecessary stress. And like you say, folks is unnecessarily putting themselves in debt, paying it off for the year or so to do it all again the next year. And it doesn't make no sense. The math ain't math, man.
Yeah, it's always been like that. Even as a teenager, I can remember the couples in high school. Somebody bought somebody an expensive gift and they got something cheap in return. Stuff like that. It's always I guess it's feeling unappreciated. But that's the nature of the season when it's gift related. But one of the things that the biggest conflict that I had with me and my wife when we actually started seriously dating is the time management with both of your families. Having to go to my grandma's house, go to your grandma's house, go eat here, go here. It became overwhelming, you know what I'm saying? To have to do holiday season. So I know that it worked out because both our families was cool. But man, meeting the families or having to coordinate family time like that can cause an awful lot of conflict as well.
Yeah, that's why I like simple women, man. I like simple women because I'm a simple dude. I ain't trying to keep up with nobody. If I give you a gift, I'm not giving you that gift because I expect you to give me something of similar value. I'm giving you that gift because I really want to give you this, right? And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, do too much trying to keep up with what somebody gave them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you go spend $500 on something for her. Now she feel obligated to get you something close. That's why I like simple women, like I said, because I'm a simple dude. Somebody say, "Oh, what do you want?" Man, I really don't want anything. But I like.
I never know what to say. I never know what to say when they. What do you want for Christmas?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't need anything.
I think that's all.
I need or I want already.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take a watch or something, $100, but you don't have to match me with what I get you, and don't feel bad about it. I don't want no woman to feel bad because she got me a watch that was $85 and I got her a $300-400 purse. Don't feel bad about that. I'm good with the watch. Like I don't compare things like that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think that's actually a good trade-off. As a man, I don't even think you should even expect, something of equal or greater value. Me personally, I would say 1/4 of whatever you spend is reasonable, right? Now, like, let's just say you got that $400 watch and she got you some Jordan cologne. I don't know if she liked you very much. She getting you that.
I don't even think about it like that, though.
Yeah,
like,
you can't compare gifts, man. That's what I hate about the materialistic aspect of it, because it's not about that, like, especially for adults. Like, to me, Christmas is about the kids and about family and all that. Like, I look forward to being able to, I know I'm off, I know I get to chill, I know it's gonna be multiple games on. So I look for my being able to chill vibe, you know what I'm saying? And the family aspect of it. But we got a lot of crop chasers out there that their whole focus is trying to shit on other people and show off on social media. So they gotta show the Rolls Royce truck being delivered. They gotta show, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that shit, a lot, like you said, a lot of people go get gifts and stuff that end up getting repossessed by Valentine's Day because you couldn't afford it to begin with. So
I don't like stuff like you rich. You don't care about a Rolls Royce. Like, who cares? Like, somebody else rich bought you a Rolls Royce. Oh God, yay! Like, you're worth $70 million. Who cares if you buy somebody a Rolls Royce? Like, and that's what it is. It's really a competition. Look what I got. I got this. I got mine. I got that. Like, I just don't. I personally don't rock with it at all. I don't know when the last time I got something from somebody, so I just don't care for it, man. It's big
so let me ask y'all this. So in 2023, a man and a woman met last month. They've been on a couple of dates. Is the unspoken expectation there that you have to exchange gifts? How does that work?
I would say no. Well, like, I just feel like it's not, you haven't known the person long enough to be like, okay, we're gonna exchange gifts on. Now I would say this: if you want to do something nice for them, a nice gesture for them, it doesn't even have to be it doesn't have to be necessarily a big deal per se. Whether you want to, let's just say, make a nice dinner for them or something of that sort, I think that's crazy.
I don't know, Jay, man. I don't think a lot of women probably share that perspective, because if she didn't give you some coochie, a lot of them feel like that come with a gift attached to it.
I would agree there. Don't disagree with
this. Check this out. I've been knowing her a month, and I'm feeling shorty. I'm gonna send her a dozen or 2 roses or something, so a nice flower bouquet or something like that. Like, I'm gonna send her something. Like, I ain't just gonna let this whole day go by. and she ain't got me none. Yeah, like, nah, look, I'm feeling you. I've only been knowing you a month. I'm not finna go and spend $400, $500, $600 on it. No. I'm gonna get you a nice bouquet with a bear or something, or a card, send it to you, just so that I'm on your mind during this holiday, to let you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm there. Put my cologne in it. Send that off. Yeah.
Drop the quick gem there. But but like I said, that's a nice gesture. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a nice gesture, but I ain't gonna let it go. And I don't need nothing from her. I ain't looking for nothing from her.
I wouldn't expect anything either.
Yeah, like, no, this is what I would do. So
yeah, that's clear. Now another thing that seems, never forget, like clockwork, it'll be on your timeline. A lot of cheaters get exposed around Christmas time. People are off work. They got time to play FBI. A lot of things go unnoticed. You posting gifts. You wore something. Your watch was in somebody's story. Like a lot of detective work gets done a lot around this time, and there's gonna be chaos, especially from the baby daddies that are still trying to get some from their baby moms.
Esther, you just posted about that a couple of weeks ago about that
I
stuff.
gotta cut that out, man. 'Cause it's gonna come back to bite you because like it's gonna come back to bite you. You're gonna be trying to spend time with this woman, this new chick that you talking to. She gonna want to spend time with you, but now you talking about, oh, I gotta go over here for the kids. Now you over there all night. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. And it's gonna be a lot of chicks celebrating Christmas on Tuesday because they don't know they side chicks yet. So
facts.
They don't know they side chicks until the holidays. That's when you find out you a side chick, ladies. So for all y'all out there now,
Or they see the dude they smashing with some matching pajamas on another chick on their timeline with somebody else.
man, it's a cold world out here.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? If that ain't your man, if all you getting is dick, don't be upset at what he doing on Christmas. If it ain't with you, you are the dick appointment. You are not the Christmas appointment. Okay?
Know your role.
You are the post-Christmas appointment. So on Tuesday after work, he'll come by and drop your perfume off that he got from Ross for $10.99.
damn!
He gonna drop that off.
You need the post bail over here.
Oh yeah, your Ross perfume and that Anne Klein purse he got for $20. He gonna drop that off on Tuesday. Be happy, beloved. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you find out where you are in that person's priority list around the holiday season, because you can't be in two places at the same time. I know back in the day, a lot of guys you create a conflict with a woman around mid-December, so that y'all on bad terms until New Year. You know what I'm saying? Right around that time. Those are things you got to do. Not necessarily just if you broke and can't afford a gift. It's just time management. Being on the scene, you gotta put some preparation if you're gonna be running the streets in this day and age.
That's dirty. That's dirty. You gonna break up with shorty so you ain't gotta buy nothing because you ain't gotta buy nothing, and then you ain't gotta spend time with her. Like, it's some dirt bags. It's some real dirt bags out here, ladies. You hear me?
Most do this stuff, man.
Yeah, I ain't never did that, man. I did some dirt bag stuff, but I ain't never did that just to break up with you for the holidays, so I ain't gotta buy you nothing. I can go spend time with another chick. Like, nah, man. I ain't never did that. But hey, if that phone on do not disturb, or you can't get through, hey,
she ain't posted nothing in her story.
Hey,
y'all need to be on alert for these red flags. Not just for Rudolph's red nose, but it's gonna be a lot of red flags that exhibit themselves.
Oh, they are coming. They gonna be here quick, and y'all, it's gonna be a lot of disappointed people this year. Some of these chicks gonna find out they sleeping with the same dudes. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 of them. They all got the same necklace from Zales. He got them the same necklace. It was on sale. You buy one necklace, you get 3 free. He gonna give them to all y'all. Y'all gonna show them off together.
So how would you react to the ungrateful post? You do something for a woman, you buy her something nice, and you find out she done went on her live talking shit about you and what you got or whatnot, what you should have bought, what you should have did, and what she expected. Like, to me, that's an instant reason to cut a woman off. I just can't tolerate that type of mentality over materialistic stuff.
I mean, honestly, if she's taking a social media and talking about, and she doesn't appreciate the gift, man, listen, she's not the one. I think, and if you choose to ignore that, you got bigger problems coming down the line. Because if she would do it for something like that, any other problems they have, she's gonna go take the social media and have your business out here on these streets. So, fellas, if y'all see this, man, yeah, do yourself a favor, man. Cut her off. There's nothing to talk about after that.
Yeah, it ain't just the women, man. Nobody should be running the social media to
I agree.
express their grievances with somebody else. Like, that's the most ungrateful thing.
Childish.
And I cannot deal, if it's one thing I can't deal with, it's an ungrateful person for something that I have done for them. I don't like that at all. You'll never get nothing else from me. And as a woman, I don't want you in my presence. You can keep the gift. You just can't keep me. So, and I'm going to have to get gone. You know what I'm saying? Because, I try, men, do what they can do or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how you're going to respond to it. You're going to go put it on social media and talk about it. You don't deserve nothing.
Yeah.
So
Clout chasing.
Yeah.
Instantly cut off. Because that's really all you want. Like as a man, that provides for a family or whatnot, you just want to be appreciated. You know what I mean? Like and they demonstrate that appreciation with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like with how they treat you and how they respond. So how a woman views Christmas is a big deal. Like, that should be things you talk about, questions, conversations, or whatnot. Because if her expectations of Christmas are drastically different than yours and how you grew up, that can be a very big obstacle to overcome if you're going to be, you got a kid with a chick and y'all opposites when it comes to holidays or things of that nature. Those are things that have to get talked about and discussed, because it's something that's fair, but you probably not really observing or thinking about it when you first meet somebody and y'all start kicking it in September or whatnot, until you see how things play out over the holiday season.
Yeah, you got to see people in different lights, man. See how they really behave and what they really think, and that's why vetting is so important before you do certain things with people, men and women. It just ain't the women. So don't take it so serious, man, out here. As far as these here gifts and different things go, don't go broke and don't be ungrateful. Somebody get you something, man, that's from their heart or whatever, man. Be thankful that somebody got you anything. Because there's a lot of people out here, man, that wish they was in your position to get something from somebody that actually cared about them. And we take those things for granted out here because we so spoiled over here in America with everything that we got. So be grateful for people.
Facts.
Yeah. Show love, to the kids. Try to spend time with your people. But like I said, man, we try to have a positive spirit, try to have positive energy. But another thing, I hate to have to bring it up because I feel sorry just thinking about it, is custody. Child custody is a big thing that comes up on Christmas and holidays and things of that nature. He's supposed to have a kid this Christmas and you don't, you know what I'm saying? You like it's so many conflicts and things that I've seen happen in situations like this where the kid didn't get to go be around his family or whatnot because the baby mama was tripping, or you know what I'm saying, like just stuff like that. So that's the unfortunate side of it, bitter parents or people that are bitter towards their exes, they know that this is the perfect time to use that kid as a weapon, and so you're gonna see a lot of that as well.
And that's really unfortunate there, because honestly, they're not thinking of what's in the best interest of the child. They're more so thinking, okay, how can I get back at my ex? And I think you hurt the child more in the process than anything else.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad I don't have these issues, man. Like, I think a lot of these issues are can be avoided just with some simple communication. Like with me and my son's mom, right? He's typically with her every Christmas. That's just the way that it goes. He was with her every Christmas. Sometimes they go out of town, visit her family, whatever. And then he's with me the following weekend, which is New Year's. He's with me for the New Year. So, I prefer it that way. Like, it's cool. It works for us because of how our schedules rotate with him, and I have him half the time. It works. Like, you can come up with something to where it works, where y'all not bickering, arguing, and all this here stuff about the time and different things like that. I think that if you as a man is handling your business with your kid and respecting the mom and not trying to sleep with her, that any of these here things can be worked out around the holidays, man, because those emotions and different things aren't there. So, I get it, but it's the wrong time for all of that, man. Just if you gotta get them the next weekend, try to get them the next weekend. So just be compromising with each other.
Yeah, it's sad, but it is what it is. There ain't no way to fix stuff like that, because there's only one kid, there's only one Christmas, and what you can do with that child or with the family member is really limited. So work on having a healthy relationship, or smoothing things out, like you said, throughout the year. Um, like, your arrangement sounds very fair, and you being the guy, being able to make that sacrifice, like, man, go and be with your mom on Christmas, because women usually make a bigger deal out of this stuff, the decorations and all, the whole shebang. That's usually a woman thing, where they gotta go all over the top and do all the extra. Most guys are just chill and laid back, and are just the financing behind the Christmas,
Yeah, this girl asked me, she said, "You got a tree up? A tree? What a tree? What type of straight man put up a tree in his house and go hang lights and all that stuff, and he outside with hot cocoa and a reindeer in his front yard and a Santa on his roof, and he a single man? Man, what type of stuff is this? Ain't no way."
Listen, the only way he do it if he has a family. Otherwise, why would he do that?
I had a tree in my apartment. My mom,
as a single man.
Well, my mom, she took some hangers, like 6 hangers, and taped them together, so it was a little miniature tree that sat on the little end table. So me and my roommate had a little Christmas tree.
How old was you?
Man, that was our first apartment. We was 20 something. But that was a great icebreaker for the ladies. Little small, it's about 18 inches high. Just sat it's like on a coffee table. It wasn't no big deal. There wasn't no gifts under there or nothing. But my mom gave me that,
Your mom gave it to you. That's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got.
But the point that you made, no other dudes had no decorations or no tree at all. So it made us stand out having a little tree on.
I bet it did. You walk into a room, there's two dudes in here with a Christmas tree. Man, what y'all doing with this Christmas tree up in here, man? What's going on up in here? So, hey, man, it is what it is. So, I wouldn't do it. I ain't got time for that. And be putting up no tree.
There's more work, man. More stuff my wife and daughter are the only reasons we had. They got Halloween decorations, Thanksgiving decorations, Easter decorations. Like, they gotta decorate everything. So that's something that the guys only do if they got a wife or kids, man. Yeah. All right, man. Looks like we are up against the clock, y'all. We about to get up out of here, but before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get this episode knocked out. Hope y'all have a happy holidays and everything with your family. This has been another episode of the Ho to Husband podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.